Muy buenas a todos, estamos con Kongyue, el jungla de Team. Le vamos a hacer unas preguntas sobre su partida contra Team Liquid y por supuesto sobre el mundial. First of all, thank you so much for being here. I'd like to ask you about the game against Team Liquid because I think that they actually gave you some openings because they didn't know how to end the game. So tell me a bit about the game, about your feelings about how the game developed.
就是感觉你们其实跟 Team Liquid 这场比赛的时候，你们开场是还不错的，但是好像在结束比赛的能力上面稍微有一点点欠缺。你觉得这个原因是什么？
就是到我们中期的时候，就前面有优势，可是我们中期就沟通没沟通好，然后被打野飞了一波下，所以之后节奏视野都做不回来，然后被对面牵着鼻子走。
打野飞了一波下，然后呢？
打野飞了一波下之后，然后我们的节奏就被对面牵着走。对。
So actually, we do have a good opening, but in the mid game, So our communication problem. So there are so many problems when we are communicating, like team fights, like the skirmish. So including the vision. So especially when Nocturne just fly to the bot lane, so our tempo was immediately stopped by the NOC. So at that time, from that time on, we're controlled by Team Liquid.
Okay, and is that problem with communication something that you have suffered from a long time, or is that just something new that you developed on this tournament?
你觉得你们沟通问题是一直存在的多，还是说在世界赛小组赛才出现的？
在世界赛团练期间，甚至在 LNS 的时候，我们沟通能力其实都有问题，只是就一直都解决不好，所以我们也还在努力解决。
So it's a problem for a long period, no matter it's in the group stage or in the Worlds or in the play-ins or in just in the normal season in LMS. This is a very long period of problem for our team. So we are trying to figuring out, but we haven't got a very good solution for it.
So I think that Team and yourself are not very known, at least for the Spanish-speaking community. But I've heard that you're regarded as one of the best junglers in the LMS. Do you think that statement is true, or do you think that someone is better than you in your region?
他们觉得说，就是听说，你们打野是LMS 最好的打野之一，那你也是这样认为的吗？还是说你对此有别的看法？
因为我自己没有觉得我自己就是第一打野，我觉得就是木俊还有 LNS 的另一个打野都就是算平，就是我们都是差不多的，只是我在 LNS 的表现，因为那时候是比较吃中野。可是到了世界赛就大家都靠着下路打，所以可能我比较不适应，所以都表现得不太好。
So I'm not thinking that I am the first or I'm the best jungler in LMS. I think the other junglers in LMS region, they're pretty good, like Mujin, like MT, and other teams junglers. They're really good and they're the same as me. But maybe it's because the meta of normal season. I mean, the regular season. Sorry, the regular season, the summer split, the spring split. So that meta is kind of mid laner and jungler oriented. But in Worlds, it seems like everybody is hoarding the bot lane, so I'm not a little bit getting used to it, so that's why I'm not putting myself into the best jungler in LMS.
Now that you've mentioned that maybe you're not that comfortable on this meta, do you think that's something that only affects you or the whole team overall? Do you think this is a good meta for Martin?
你觉得就是他觉得你刚刚提到了你自己不是很适应这个版本，那你觉得说到现在世界赛的版本的话，你觉得是你自己不太适应这个版本，还是说整个队伍都不太适应这版本？
整个队伍感觉就是中期我们不知道要怎么把优势扩大，就队伍也有问题，然后加上我们三线的打线实力可能都不太稳定，就是可能会突然赢线，可是基本上都是输线的，就是所以我们队伍会比较劣势，不管打哪一队。
So I think maybe it's like a team issue. In this meta, the most important thing I think is the laning phase. So as long as you're a little bit loose in the laning phase or you get zoned, so maybe you're really hard for you to win the game, no matter in early or mid or late game. Also, Matt team is like a little bit confused on how to expand the leads in the mid game. So that's why we are hard to end the game in late game. So that's one of our biggest problems. Also, 推线还有中期扩大优势还有什么来着？
就
对线实力是不是？
对，我们的对线。
And for individual performance, I think each position, I mean each player of us, they're a little bit weaker than other pro players, other teams in this world. So we always get zoned. So maybe my team is not getting really good result in group stage.
Unfortunately, you have lost the 3 games that you have already played, but you still have a chance of qualifying. Of course, you will have to do a miracle run. So, what are you guys do to prepare for your next and final day of groups?
虽然说现在是03这个战绩，但是其实就是还是有这个出线几率的。那你们打算就说为了出线的话，打算做什么准备？
就每个人自己的打线实力，然后还有就是中期我们视野要怎么扩大优势，要学其他队伍，不然这样我们也很难赢。就是后面那3场。
Still the 2 points. The first point is the landing phase. It's very important of the game. It's the basic thing. And the second point is also the first point just refers to the individual physicals, individual performance. So that's very important for us. And the second point is the vision and how to expand the leads in the mid game, as he said before in the last question. So for our team, if we can figure out how to solve these 2 questions, we made really hard for us to win the 3 games left.
Your chances may be hard, but you also have G-Rex and Flash Wolves on the tournament. What do you think that they can do on this tournament? They can advance to the group stage or to the quarterfinals, sorry, or they will remain in the group stage?
虽然还是蛮困难，但是 LMS 还是有其他2支队伍也一直在奋战的，就是 Flash Wolves 闪电狼和 G-Rex。那你觉得他们的出现的几率是怎么样的？以及怎么评价他们的表现？
闪电狼出现的机会应该是现在看起来是很高，就是只要他们以这个状态，虽然说他们今天就是不然输了1场，所以我觉得电狼的机会很高。然后 G-Rex 的话，他们现在感觉跟我们也是差不多，就是中期会有问题，就是视野方面那些会不知道该怎么把优势扩大，然后还有沟通感觉也有点问题。
So for Flash Wolves, they has the biggest possibility to get up the groups. So I don't think there is a big problem for them of them. But for G-Rex, they may in the same situation of us. So they don't know how to expand their lead and make them either. So of course the communication problems. I think G-Rex maybe can have wins or victories if they figure this out.
Often when we speak about the LMS, Flash Wolf is regarded as a world-class team, but maybe the other ones are a bit weaker or seem as a bit weaker. What do you think that the LMS have to do to improve as a region overall?
就有一些分析和有些评论，就是说感觉 LMS 赛区好像比别的赛区稍微弱一些。你是怎么看待这个评论？就是
确实是有感觉比 LPL 跟 LCK 弱，就是平均实力没有那么强，就竞争力比较低，可能竞争性只有前3名而已。所以我们 LNS 也一直有在找新人吧，就是一直有在把新人加进来，就是增加实力，整体实力。
So on average, I think LMS is a little bit weaker than LPL than LCK. Indeed, I admit that. But actually, LMS is always having rookies from different regions, and we are really improve ourselves. So maybe we have top 3. Yeah.
Okay. So lastly, who do you think that will win the World Championship?
最后一个问题是，你觉得谁会拿到这一次的世界赛冠军？
只能讲一个吗
？Only one team?
Well, if he has some favorites, that works too.
如果你觉得有好几个的话，你可以讲，就你自己的喜欢。最有可能。
就 RNG 跟 FW 吧，就是，可是闪电狼要就是每一场都保持最好的状态，才有机会赢。
So I would say RNG and Flash Boost, but Flash Boost has to keep their best performance in games, so they will have chance to win the finals.
Finally, is there any message that you would like to send to your fans that may be watching this interview?
最后就跟粉丝说一下嘛。
就是可能世界赛就是前3场我没有打到，就是很好吧，因为外面评价都是我是最强打野，就是我会在后面3场发挥更好。
I'm sorry for we haven't have our best status, our best level in the 3 games before. Since like people said I'm one of the best junglers in the LMS in the world, I'll definitely improve myself and to prove myself in the next 3 games.
Okay, so thank you very much for the interview. Good luck in your next games. Para el resto de vosotros podéis seguir la cobertura en Esportmaniacos.com y por supuesto en el canal de YouTube Esportmaniacos.